Good morning. It's Saturday, June 15th. I'm Melissa Nunez in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox local app. Well, a manhunt is underway for a suspect accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl at Kissena Park in Queens. This is a sketch of the suspect. He's described as a Hispanic man with a heavy accent, braces on his teeth, and a distinctive tattoo on his chest. If you have any information, please give police a call. And vandals have targeted a synagogue on the Upper East Side. Palestine was written on the outside of the building. The synagogue posted on social media that they were disheartened and assured their followers that the building is secure and services will continue. And checking the forecast for the weekend, today 81 degrees with sun and clouds. Tomorrow, nice temperatures will continue for Father's Day. Well, the sky is not falling, but a massive chunk of ice came crashing through a New Jersey home. It is believed the ice fell from a plane. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini talked to the family, who say they are still in shock.
From above, you can see the gaping hole is patched up.
They cracked the roof. Part of the second floor ceiling is gone too.
The damage left behind to this Patterson home comes after what Paul and Sabrina Gomez call a typical night in their backyard.
And then out of nowhere, we just hear like something like hollow, like coming down, but we really didn't think of nothing of it until we hear like a big smash on the floor.
We hear a sound like a helicopter wings coming down. And when we heard the smash at the house, and then we ran upstairs and checked it out.
Ring camera video caught the moments and the sound, and soon they found out it was ice.
It was pretty intense, and then that's when we look over to the side to the neighbor's yard, and we see the pieces of ice on the floor, like an iceberg. And we went upstairs because we wanted to check if everything was fine and stuff, and then that's when we saw the big hole in the attic with the big chunk of ice.
The Gomez's think it came from a plane, possibly bio-waste.
They pass all the time, frequently. Every 20 minutes, we get planes flying over us.
And even though the damage done is frustrating, they're grateful.
Nobody was hurt. You imagine if that chunk of ice would have dropped here, and we would be all gone here.
We reached out to the Federal Aviation Administration. In a statement, we were told, generally speaking, we investigate reports that we receive about incidents such as this. In Patterson, New Jersey, I'm Stephanie Bertini, Fox 5 News.
A 20-year-old New Jersey man has been arrested in connection to the flag-burning incidents outside the Israeli consulate. The suspect is facing several charges, including reckless endangerment and menacing. He was one of 3 people involved in the burning of both the American and Israeli flags. The incident happened Wednesday during a demonstration outside the consulate on the east side. Security has been stepped up. And the Supreme Court has struck down a Trump-era ban on bump stocks, which is a gun accessory that allows semi-automatic weapons to fire rapidly, similar to machine guns. The High Court's conservative majority ruled the Trump administration did not follow federal law when it enacted the ban after a 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas. 60 people were killed, hundreds more were injured. A bump stock allowed the gunman to fire more than 1,000 rounds in just 11 minutes. And an independent consulting firm finding New York State made huge mistakes during the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Hochul ordered the report 18 months ago at the cost of more than $4 million. It found the state was not prepared and failed to consider threat scenarios that exceeded its response capabilities. Also, that schools were caught off guard switching to remote learning, and there were major supply chain issues.
Why we have a health department in New York State to manage things like pandemics and infectious disease. And that part of the health department has been defunded in recent history.
The report also criticized former Governor Cuomo for controlling the release of COVID-19 information instead of relying on agencies like the health department. Well, now that congestion pricing is on ice, lawmakers are getting creative with ideas to fund the MTA's capital projects. And as Fox 5's Richard Giacobbe shows us, one of them would involve selling naming rights to subway and commuter rail stations.
The indefinite pause on congestion pricing has sent the MTA into a tailspin. How is it going to make up all that lost revenue?
Eventually, one way or another, the middle class and the lower class are the ones who suffer.
For Assemblyman David Weprin, who's been against that extra toll below 60th Street from the start, well, he has other ideas.
Why shouldn't New York City, the largest transit system in the country, get corporate sponsors for revenue?
The home of the Mets, Citigroup sponsors that ballpark. How about where the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Liberty play? Barclays Center. So Weprin figures, why not slap a corporate sponsor on our subway and Metro North stations?
They would use that $1 billion to bond up to $15 billion in bond issues, which would fund MTA's capital program.
We ran the idea by strap hangers tonight, and the sentiment was unanimous. No more sponsors in New York City, especially in the transit system.
Corporate sponsorship on neighborhood train stations. Get out of here.
Privatizing, it seems like privatizing, and that isn't a great idea.
I would like not to see a corporate logo on my New York City subway station. I would like to keep it the MTA just the way it is.
Well, there is one subway station in New York City that has a corporate sponsorship already, and that's the Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center stop in Brooklyn. A reported $200,000 a year deal made 15 years ago. So will we see more of that at subway stations across New York City? The MTA tonight had no comment. We're on the Upper West Side. Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News.
Well, the Centers for Disease Control is warning that access to medications used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder may be disrupted. A CDC advisory noted that there is a shortage in the U.S. of drugs prescribed to treat ADHD. The warning comes after the Department of Justice announced a federal health care fraud indictment against 2 executives from the digital health company Dun Global. The company distributes prescription stimulant medications. And by now, dating apps have become an established part of modern courtship. Love them or hate them, chances are you might have used them one time or another. But what about using one of these apps to help find friends? Jessica Formoso explains.
In today's world, there is an app for everything. Dating, food shopping, learning a different language. So why not an app to help you make friends?
Like, your thoughts on a friendship app? Would you use it, yes or no?
I have no idea, to be honest. Maybe if I was in a situation where I wouldn't have friends and try to socialize with some people.
If that's how people are going to meet, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I'm not looking online for friends, but if that's how people are finding friends and they're getting happy because of that, who am I to judge?
One of those friendship apps, Geneva. It's a group chat app connecting you to the people you want to meet and the things you want to do in your city.
Sometimes when our life circumstances change, that maybe we need to change the crowd as well. So maybe such app opportunity is an option.
The app recently signed an agreement to be acquired by Bumble to help grow its friend-finding services. You can find people with all different hobbies, from a running buddy to someone interested in books. Dr. Jeffrey Gardier is a clinical psychologist.
Research out there has shown when it comes to the treatment of certain psychological issues, sometimes having groups that are specific to your interests or your culture or who you are seem to be very, very effective.
He says these friend-finding platforms can allow you to really get to know one another. After all, it's not impossible to transition from friends to lovers.
You never know that one of these friendships may actually turn into a romance, and it's happening organically.
In Forest Hills, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
We know that sound all too well. More than 1 trillion cicadas are blanketing the central United States right now, bathing large swaths of the population in that eerie, distinctive, loud sound. There were places in Illinois where the decibel level hit 101, which is louder than a lawnmower. This only happens once every 17 years, thank God. Let's get a final check of the forecast today. 81 degrees with sun and clouds. Tomorrow, nice temperatures will continue for Father's Day. And that does it for us this morning. I'm Lisette Nunez. Have a great day. And remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming here on the Fox Local app.